Second place gets 320,000, and the difference between those two spots, it's like a $280,000 difference. A $280,000 money match. Some of these squads now waking up. Shopify Rebellion sitting in second place right now with 28 points. And as Glitter said, Complexity leading the way with 41 total points. It takes one good game from any of these teams in the middle of the pack to elevate themselves.
Imagine if you had the number one place team versus the number 2 place team going for it, like at the end of match point, both on match point, 1 shot left each. There's like 2 shotguns involved, and we're like counting the pellets by the end to work out, like, you know, how many dollars per pellet was won or lost in that fight. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see at the end of today.
If I was the one that gets second place, it would actually break my heart, but that's the type of macro that you have to just break it down to. As we take a look at where our zone is going to be pulling for game number 4. Sticking onto World's Edge here, Go Next. Going to be able to get that ring console over by Big Mod, split looting over to the north side of Geyser.
Yeah, I don't read this one as a Geyser ending. I believe in recent times it's been ending in Geyser. It needs to be a lot more east, and we'll see it end near those bins, you know, hugging the south mountain of Geyser, or maybe towards the end building. And as we see Go Next move forward, that, you know, also lends some credence to that idea. I definitely think we're going to see it more in, say, Lava Siphon or the north part of that.
Yeah, north part of the Lava Siphon by that fence line too, closer to those crates that you kind of see when you exit out of the bridge side. When you're on your way to Lava Siphon, it's going to benefit the teams that get to rotate from Lava Siphon, considering that there is a ring console right there. VP had already gotten that information very early on, so they look like they're situated in one of those buildings that are north side of Lava Siphon. Gaming Gladiators, another team that are looking to get some info.
It feels like Zone 3 has been, you know, sort of relatively stable. Like, you can get a good idea of where that will be heading. It's after that we're seeing the chaos, right? Zone 4, 5, 6, that's when the players are real. Like, even these guys, even the best IGLs in the world who do their homework on zones all the time, being helped out by the best analysts with all the information to work out where these zones are going. Even these guys are struggling to work out and predict those zones.
It's been giving me whiplash as Noctem are on the other side of field versus Liquid Alienware, who had made their rotate out of Dome. Noctem out of Tree, trying to take this fight, trying to trail up from right behind them. Well, they are going to be able to try to chase down after Liquid Alienware. It looks like Team Liquid had split up. Now forced to go through stacks to see if they can try to rejoin together, while Noctem are just going to keep chasing after Hawad as they know that he's separated from his team.
Oi. Charge rifle in the hands. A lot of teams will only be picking this up if they see an early select fire, not Monsoon. He knows. He's got it dialed in, and he will be doing damage. Charging Evo. Supercharging Complexity's points all the way up to 41 in the first place position on the leaderboard right now with that weapon.
Now shifting our focus onto E36. We're surrounding Go Next by Overlook. With the Valkyrie pick for E36, it could get into that high ground positioning that you currently see aimbot on. Bombardment called in, forcing him off of that one side of the high ground. Found himself playing off that lip. The other members of E36 are going to be able to go around the side opening of Go Next. Still trying to isolate that member of E36, aimbot dropping down. Nice dome here. Now E36 don't like the situation. They can't get that survey beacon. They're trying to get away.
Shopify Rebellion on the backside of this as well, though. As we see that damage coming out, it's probably only a matter of time until Shopify Rebellion get there.
Oh no, E36 get taken out. Go Next. Remember, in that last game, E36 were trying to deny the opportunity to Go Next for them to get the survey beacon over by Lava Siphon, I believe it was.
Oh.
This time around, though, with Shopify Rebellion on their tail, is going to be able to move it.
Initial crack. Is it done? Oh, Sinews. Bullets go just wide. They have to give up the space. They have already used up their abilities, probably the Gibby ult in that earlier fight, and that means Shopify are able to push them out of that position with Zynews, as you can see, just ticking up now. This does give them immediate access to the death boxes, but I'm surprised that they didn't push harder for those kills.
They didn't see the opportunity right there. They had used up the bombardment, like you said. They had to use up the dome so that way they had the space through that crevice to back away. They take the loot away from Go Next. Go Next are going to be able to scan that survey, which will also let them know that Aurora are on their rotate from the northern side of the map. Aurora, a team that benefits more when it comes to having to go for a long distance into where that zone is pulling rather than having the zone pull on top of them. Team that we were expecting to really pop off, but unfortunately hasn't been able to find that stride into this final day.
Yeah, considering they've changed up their macros so much from previous tournaments, Vicky, I was expecting them to do well here. They've been hitting the placement points harder than ever before, and not just running at people like they have in previous tournaments, and that says something about the growth of a team usually. That is usually the trajectory a team takes. They start off as a great team fighting team, and then they add more macro into the mix until they are a truly versatile top team.
Yeah, where they check all the boxes. We knew that they were able to frag out in these lobbies, but their positioning in these final zones just were not working out for them. Although in this today, just transitioning from their progress in the last few days, Aurora not looking like they're in top form. Instead, seeing where this zone is pulling and seeing how many squads have already found themselves in this space. Gaming Gladiators Guild in one of the buildings that I've highlighted, actually, northwest side of Lava Siphon. Shopify Rebellion are going to be able to try to gatekeep a lot of the teams that may want to find themselves going through that choke, exiting out of Fragment East. Fighting over here by Falcons, though, looking at Go Next, they're about to get sandwiched.
They're constantly finding themselves in these early to mid-game fights and not being able to clean them up cleanly enough. Let's see if Hal, with the aggressive slam here, can do that. Is it unflies up? Waltzy will confirm the knock.
Hits him with the Go Next here as he takes them out. Two members of Go Next running for their lives. Shopify Rebellion were looking to maybe get involved.
Unlucky does the same to Furia, and it's madness on the wrong side of a PK.
And Gaming Gliders get eliminated in your feeds. Alliance taking this slowly too, with Falcons just right around the corner. Do they want to extend to try to go in through that choke, or do they want to commit to going from the choke that we saw Shopify Rebellion in? This is forced Furia to play this out as a duo, now rotate through Harvester, see if they could get them back into the game.
Yep, Waltzy catches them out. You can see that from the ping. They are aware the EMEA powerhouse is just ahead of them now. Instead of streaming forward towards them, they actually take their time. Look at the death boxes on the way through. There is a little bit of space they can play here on the other side of Harvester, but of course then that forces you into those two snake-like chokes that can be hard to force your way through.
Oh no, right through the evac. Tries to take some shots with the Sheila, but a bit too far away. Doesn't even shoot at the evac tower. He saw that it was a little too late when they were trying to go up, it looks like, but Alliance dropped down. It was Effect now that moves up. They don't even try to commit here, and Falcons are right behind them, just trying to commit to going to Harvester because there is a ring console for them to access.
Yeah, you're right. You usually want to hit that when it's just gone up. That does enable you to maybe cut off one or two of the members who are trying to take the evac, even if they hit it straight away. Okay, TSM right into this with Noctum down in Lava Siphon. They're fighting for important position in the northern building here.
Talk about the damage from reps, by the way. Over 1K damage already. 3 KP going in their pockets. Noctum just down to what looks to be a solo. Well, they have secured this entire northern side of Lava Siphon. The teams that are neighboring them, VP, over to the smaller building to their north, Team Burger. Fnatic still on the south side of Lava Siphon, where we note that there is that ring console, but you'll be forced to burn the dome for a ring console scan there specifically.
Yeah, Remix Powers making it all the way back into the zone. Looks like he might dodge Furia. I think he's going to try and res in launch site. Luckily, Furia coming from Tree. Different Southern POI. Furia coming in from the zone. Of course, we saw them get hurt later, so I think they've just come off their reset. And they're now pulling up behind the command center where Fnatic is set up.
And got in that res originally here, while Falcons are looking down at Alliance. Taking the time for this, while Alliance backing away, forcing them to go into their line of sight without giving up that platform here out of the bunker.
Yeah, and as you can see on the little cutout there, Guild smack bang in the center of the zone. I believe they have that building. It's almost hard to see because they've got so many rampart walls set up and around it, but that means that this spot that Alliance have, oh, they've actually been pushed underneath now. That's great for Falcons. If they can hold on to this tunnel, that is absolutely a doorway into one of these final zones.
Noctum managed to get the res 2 on 2 of their members, so they're back as a full 3-man. And as you noted, Genome, Alliance playing off that low ground could also work into their benefit because they don't want to get pinched from Team Falcons from behind, but they also keep themselves out of the line of sight of the other spots that still have that slight height.
Oh. Furia. Very dicey rotate in here.
I think that's TSM, by the way, pinging at them from that northern building of Lava Siphon still. Furia forced to move up into that middle building of Lava Siphon. The only squad there for now, while Noctum coming out of that fresh res in the middle of their rotate, playing on the edge of the zone.
Okay, Aurora trying to get set up in the caravans. Triple Reds at least, that's something to their name, but we know that these caravans they're basically death traps. Can be a little bit better with all the walls we've got right now. Still think having the Watson is probably the best way to survive in them, to zap all the nades, because that's omnidirectional, whereas you can't really stop the nades coming in from both windows at once with the castle wall.
Guild moving away from landing over by a landslide, finding that spot very early in the game. Denying themselves the opportunity to get that mid-game loot. It's usually scary when you have a lot of these teams trying to force their way into these buildings with the bubbles.
This is the exact rotation we saw VKG take last time that we had this zone. They got some placement points out of it, didn't convert massively, but they certainly showed the power of Valkyrie in these situations. This time, Shopify are on the other side, and they take too much damage. They're not in there early enough.
And we saw the engagement from Falcons. They dropped down from high ground right on top of Alliance. We saw that first knock from Hal. They get Hockey's next. And Alliance now just down to a solo, but Team Falcons now have managed to take over the Alliance positioning while Complexity are staring down the barrel at LG, but they're getting pressured over to the side. They have to be careful because there's a team in the distance also taking shots at them. It has knocked them also looking to get involved in this fight.
Oh no, Complexity. They didn't need a huge game here. They just needed a good one.
And it's not just LG getting involved here with Noctum, it's also Furia for the fourth party. Complexity get annihilated, 15 squads left, and Noctum dropped down from the high ground. They try to chase down Sweet, and right behind Noctum will be Furia.
Okay, so at this point, we do not expect anyone to hit match point at the end of game 4. With LG going out, Furia picking up some points here. This lobby is evening out.
Doesn't even want to take the risk and not committing to popping that shield bat with all the shotguns that we've seen. Furia successfully go in for the fourth party. They clean up what is left of Noctum.
Oh, wow.
And they call in the evac tower too. Isolated, by the way, no other team were really looking at them, but I did see on the map that TSM were looking at Furia and they shot down their evac tower with a Sheila.
You know, we're watching some of the teams in the north side, North Siphon Village here. They're going to be pretty happy. I mean, Shopify Rebellion, they're set up underneath the bridge, and it is, like we expected last time, going somewhat towards that dome. VK Gaming, by the way, they've managed to respawn one of their members. Oh, and they did actually manage to get the other one reset too, so congrats for VKG. That is happening under everyone else's noses.
X are trying to fully engage on this. You saw the boat check shots hitting, getting those cracks with K-Swin. He was incredibly low, having to reset. Still looking at the teams right across the bridge just to make sure that nobody tries to take that zip line to try to get right back up here. EXO want to hold this high ground, looking at Envy and also denying themselves the opportunity to move in from the bridge side, making them drop down instead.
Fury up, getting ready for a slam. Vaxon seems to be waiting for something. There we go. He pops it in while his teammates come in at the same time to do the damage. That That was so well coordinated. Love that from Furia.
The trust and also Vax having to back away, knowing that the bone check shots from EXO were still hitting them. Now Team Burger move up to 3P. They drop down. Furia get eliminated. Team Burger.
Oh my.
Good timing on the bombardment. That's actually what started their engagement for that fight.
Pricey couldn't see anything. Almost went down from hitting a castle wall there. I mean, that's it. They've stayed alive. And Burger in 20th at the moment want to be scrapping out every single point they can from this game.
Oh, they called out Unlucky. You saw him as a solo alliance get eliminated. Solo no more. It's gonna be a bloodbath for the teams that have to come out of the east side. TSM with Zap moving up, utilizing the dome. They're looking at Fnatic that are inside the truck right now.
Okay, playing for the south zone. As soon as these bubbles go down, Falcons will become a factor as well, fighting from afar.
Oh, this really shows you how hard it is to get inside these trucks. TSM had gotten the initial knock. Fnatic were able to get the res and now win the fight. The Sheila from Melstera melting TSM.
Yeah, but Yuka F is gone. They'll get his banner. Falcons are close by, but you can see Zero doesn't want to commit to this too hard. Falcons' spot is God's spot right now. Okay, respawn beacon comes out, but they don't have the bubble to sit on it.
Falcons are lighting up the feed. They're not only looking at Fnatic, over to the north side too. VKG get eliminated. Melstera still alive, being able to find this crevice.
Had to play his life there. Leica's actually crawling into the zone. Purple knockdown shield. Melstera cannot even find a chance.
This would be the biggest clutch. This would be the biggest clutch. He's got the mobile.
Got another
He's
one.
got the mobile. Can he find a spot? He can't find a corner. He can't expose himself. And Gil just fully send it up to Melstera. Can he run? He's running for his life. He's sliding around. He's trying to get Falcons to perhaps engage, but there's not much you can do. Fnatic get eliminated and Guild have claimed these crates.
Love the movement from Melstera there. The most recent pickup from Fnatic. Certainly someone who is helping them stake their claim here in Sapporo.
Making it rain with these archers from above. Shopify neighboring the rock alongside Envy. Right next to them. EXO looking right down below, still from height. Aurora neighboring EXO too from the tower.
Okay, now we saw in that pip in the corner there, so many teams shoved into one side of the map. Falcons have dominated this end circle. This feels like the Falcons of old. This is like the exact position they want to play from.
Still from the north side here, Till also holding that fence line. Shopify are waiting for these domes to drop to let the Sheila sing. See EXO still behind them. They're on the low ground this whole time now as the dome goes down. They get the knock onto Koipel and Zaidu. MT trying to play his life, trying to for Envy and EXO to take out each other first to play for their positioning. 6 squads left. Shopify get eliminated. EXO beat them back in the lobby. Aurora now trying to get the KP while Falcons are still alive, are still on high and looking at Guild.
Yeah, Guild are about to lose their position to the zone. So are Aurora. Falcons need to try and find a way to put pressure and push them into each other. Otherwise, they will be the ones in trouble. Gil getting focused by 2 teams at once.
It's the sandwich here. Aurora helping out Falcons in this case while Guild trying to push onto Aurora. This is the green light for Falcons to move into 3P. Guild get eliminated. Last 3 squads.
But Envy are down low. Somehow no one's looking at them right now. Aurora so focused on Falcons, but Envy need to find their way up
the grand slam of the Newcastle wall pushes 9 impulse back here. Keza gets taken out first. Walty slides in. The PK shot singing. Falcons now have held height, have the advantage. While Envy are still on low ground. Aurora get eliminated. Envy forced to play right underneath the platform.
Envy want a second, but at some point they've got to come up.
Here they come up with the zipline, with the Newcastle wall. The hit fire shot from Hal, but he gets traded off. And Falcons